This is Cosmo Royale telling you to get ready for Gazbot and the Big Dawg Defender. Action activate!
Oh, hi, I was just smacking my ham hocks. I'm Gazbot, this is Action Activate, and if I'm Gazbot, and this is Action Activate, with me as always.
It is the Big Dog. We are here, back yet again, after all the holiday shenanigans, to talk about Episode 8.
Happy New Year, Episode 8.
Of Cosmic Fury. Getting toward the end, I know we had our previous episode about the best of 2023, worst of 2023, hopes for 2024, etc. But we're past that. We're here for a strictly business, professional review that only you can get at Action Activate months after the airing of an episode.
Business professional. Switching Sides is the name of the episode.
Yes.
And you'll notice that I used our intro from the lovely Campbell Cooley, friend of the show, who features prominently in this episode, not just as a voice, but as a face and a body.
Yes.
Too, really.
So, kind of jumping around as we've been doing with these. I liked this episode. I thought it was cool that we got Mucus and
Slither.
Thank you. I was going to say Scrozzle because I know he does Scrozzle also. Slither. It was really cool seeing them. My same critique, or one of my same critiques from the last episode, carries over into this. Man, you could just MacGuffin some powers over to Tarek. That'd be cool. I'd be all right with that because he's just great. And I'd love for him to morph into anything.
Here's the thing. I think I like him being a civilian that is competent, that he's a warrior, that he could do his thing. And I don't mind that he doesn't have powers, but it's a weird reversal of like, I would have liked to have seen this version of Tarek for a while, and then he gets Void Knight powers. So it's just weird to see him without them, but he does do a fine enough job without them.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like for the good of all this, they're like, hey, Billy, you know what would be pretty rad? If you just, oh, look, there's this 9th or 8th or whatever number we're on orb that I had on standby, and it's the purple Plesia Dragonsaurus Rex goes with the Zord Knight powers.
Goes with the Zord Knight powers.
Well, because they have the big dragon, purple dragon Zord.
They do, and they also have a million Zords. Well, they've also made it be, yes, it should be affiliated with that, I agree, but they've also made it so that it is very interchangeable, and the Zords almost don't matter whose they are in this series, it seems like. Which normally would bother me, but bothers me less in this one because they've made the Zord battles in general not really matter that much. Which,
exactly.
You know, whatever.
Another thing I liked in this episode was Zed being very blunt of like, I don't care about you. I don't care about your Squidworks. I'm doing my thing with the Morphin Master powers.
And even with Earth, he's like, yeah, Earth, sure, but like I'm beyond that now. And
yeah. What were your thoughts? I know again we're kind of just talking about the episode in any kind of nonsensical order.
In general, I liked it. I feel like I liked it a lot, but I think that's a very subjective. Like I wouldn't be like, it's one of the best ever. You fools, you have to listen to me. It's more like I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
And part of why I liked it was I liked the stuff they did with Zato, where they had sort of the Ranger makes a bad decision, you know, character thing. But and I like Zato as a character. So I'm already predisposed. Oh, it's an episode where they deal with him. But I like how he was kind of hiding his, for lack of a better term, sickness. Yeah. And he had his friends kind of lie for him. And to me, there was like kind of two lessons. One was like, hey, you don't have to go through this alone. And that is, to me, a subjective thing. Like, you don't have to, but I do think it's someone's personal choice if they want to share things or not. The part that was a little less objective was he asked his friends to lie and keep it a secret. And that's a little more like, that's not cool. And he saw it was taking a toll on them. And he's like, you know what? I'm sorry. I made a mistake. And part of it, again, part of it was like, hey, I want help for my friends. Sure, fine. But the bigger thing was like, I put you in a bad position, and I'm sorry about that. And I thought it was good, and it didn't take the whole episode, and it wasn't cheesy, and it was just really well handled, I thought.
Yep. I thought that was good. I thought kind of the subplot of Mucus and Slither and them dealing with being human, and that was kind of like a loose end that was kind of like a little Easter egg at the end of Dino Fury, and then with this they're like, oh, that's still a thing, let's address it. So,
and from what we know from the behind the scenes, this season wasn't planned. So I think they let that to me, that was always going to be like Countdown to Destruction when Zed and Rita turned human. And it was like, we're done. Whatever. They're human. Nice little moment. Never planning to do anything with it. And then, of course, later they had to bring back Rita and Zed in convoluted ways because they did that. But I think that's what it was for Slither and Mucus. Like, let them be. Or even in Wild Force when Jindrax and what's her name kind of rode off into the sunset. Just how sometimes they want to let the villains who are maybe not so villainous just have like, they're fine. They can go do their own thing. Yeah. Seeing them come back and be happy and be doing this like circus thing for real, I thought was a lot of fun. And of course, knowing Campbell, it was great to see him be able to, oops, I'm not trying to play this and get a copyright strike, get to be this character he was for like a scene and a half a season ago, really be a full character with her too. And the same actress who does her voice similarly last season had like one scene, but like it's just lucky that the voice actors were allowed to be the face actors. That doesn't happen very often, and it was very.
Yeah, definitely getting them out, I think, was good. And seeing the magic show, stuff like this in a normal season, quote unquote, I feel like they do like that would be a fourth of the episode.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it was like we're taking enough time for it, but we're not stretching it out, so we don't have to like not have extra fighting or Zord footage now.
Right. And they did the backstory, they did the present day, they got him converted, all while doing the other story. Like there were several stories going on at once. Yeah. And in a way, and this is going to sound like a negative, but like in a way, none of them were that important. In the sense, like by the end of the episode, something important happens. But like there was no big, we have to save this or we have to do that, or it was sort of like, oh, Mucus and Slither here, and Zato is kind of not doing the right thing, and like kind of a lot of not super important stuff, but it was all quick and all handled well. And then maybe we're forgetting. So then there's the Zord battle, which I don't care about at all. Not that it was bad, but it was just like, okay, they had the Zord fight. Oh, I guess the noteworthy thing, it was like the all-female team. Yeah, it was the all-female team running the Zords, which was just kind of a cool thing because we've never seen that before that I could recall. But usually in previous seasons, it's not that often that you have part of the team running the Megazord. That's become more common, whatever. Yeah. And then,
they captured Squid. What's her name?
Squid.
Yeah, something like that.
And so then Slither's going to impersonate her. And of course, we think, we think the mother's destroyed, but there's like a little tentacle, and we know she reforms later. Spoilers. But I like the plan. I like that they got Mucus and Slither kind of just like, what's going on? Oh, wait, you could actually help us. And it doesn't work out the way they wanted it to, but it wasn't sheer incompetence. It wasn't a betrayal. It was like, here's the plan. We're going to try it. I mean, they did as well as the Dark Ranger did, if you really want to look at it that way.
It's true.
They infiltrated. They tried to enact the plan, and it didn't work out. That's exactly what happened with him.
Yeah. Overall, again, as it gets closer to the end of the season, it really does show that they're aware of it, both in story and not. And you can tell that, again, there's the thing I appreciated most was there wasn't wasted time.
Right. Agreed.
And that's my biggest takeaway. I, again, enjoyed this, but this was, out of all of the episodes we've seen, I think this is the one you could argue is the most filler, just because stuff happens, but if you take it out, you could jump from 7 to 9 and be like, what happened? Up 3 sentences, go.
Yeah, the last scene of the movie is all of the show is all you need to see. I agree. Objectively, logically, you are correct.
Yes. Subjectively,
I disagree because all the inconsequential filler is stuff that I enjoyed and wanted to see. Like, again, it was all inconsequential filler done in the best way possible. There wasn't a ton, like there was comedy, but it wasn't horrible slapstick that nobody likes, well, some people like, but I don't. It was all done like as well as it can be done. It was well paced and everything. So even
no disagreements here.
Yeah. So yes, in a logical, objective world, this episode could be removed. I'm glad it wasn't, because I liked it better than some episodes that had more important stuff in it, because they were like a little unbalanced. Whereas this one, I just enjoyed all the way through.
I enjoyed this more than the weird worm fights, like by a mile.
Too. But those had, you know, again, important story elements in that we had to deal with. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you objectively couldn't cut that out. But I did enjoy this one more than some of those. So
1000%, yeah. And again, that critique is because there's nothing really else to critique.
Right.
Like, it's all just really good. This season as a whole is very cohesive. I like going over it again because it does highlight all of those things that we do like, and how much love and care went into this season, and how it is bittersweet that who knows now.
Today is the first. It's the first day of 2024 for anybody watching in the future. And well, I guess not everybody's watching in the future because nobody's watching it live. So
it's true.
But this is we just finished Christmas here in the States, and there's a famous old Rankin Bass special called like The Year Without a Santa Claus. I feel like this is going to be the year without Power Rangers.
Yeah.
There will be comics. We'll still be talking about it. Power Rangers in the fandom will still exist, but I don't expect to see anything significantly new other than a couple figures not from Hasbro.
If we see something new, it will be in August during Power Month and during Morphicon. And if both of those don't have anything, then we really know what's going on.
I think the best we can hope for is an announcement of something. Not even a real, not like here's the show, but like, hey, in a year, here's something, But we're getting a little sidetracked. Let's finish up.
I was going to say any kind of announcement is what I'm referring to as well.
I think that is possible, but on the optimistic side. I hope to be wrong. We covered this episode. There's not a lot to say because it's just good. The end of the episode was the most consequential part, where they come in, they do their plan, it works, they blow up the statue, they don't get to free the Morphomasters, but that's still pretty good. 1 for 2,
Yeah.
And they're like, and I love, like, they played it really well, where like what's Slither and Mushroom Lady? I just blanked her name.
Mucus
are like, oh, Ollie, you're good now, right? And he's like, please help us. And it's like, oh no, he's like I really felt bad for him. Here they are, they're trying to be heroic, and they did the thing, and they're like, okay, we're not really the heroes, but now the hero is going to take over. And he's like, no. Yeah. And if you've watched it, if you haven't, you shouldn't be watching this. But spoilers, we know that did save him, that did fix him. He is now good. But this is the second time we've saved him. So now it's like, as an adult, I was like, well, they probably saved him, but there was a little kernel of doubt because, but if you were a kid watching it, you probably wouldn't believe it at all. Like, oh, we've seen this before. Now he's still evil, So I thought it was good that they faked this out once before because it makes this one a little more believable. Yeah. I just like the whole way that played out. And backing up a little bit, I love that they had Mucus be his lawyer. And I feel like this might have been a nod to Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. You seen that movie?
I know of it. I have not seen it.
Okay, well, it's Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro based on a Hunter S. Thompson book, and it's whatever. But he's this crazy drug-addled reporter who's just like wild, and he has this lawyer friend who is not much better than he is. And Benicio del Toro was like, as your lawyer, I advise you to take a lot of drugs, like that kind of stuff. And she's like, as your lawyer, I advise you to blow things up. And I'm like, are they doing? Is this Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? Are they
probably not? But
it is two wacky characters, and the one giving the other advice is a lawyer. Like it felt like it to me.
As somebody who hasn't seen the movie, who's the same?
Comment below if you think I was maybe right, or if you know something I don't, and you're like, oh, 100% you're right because I know the writer who did it or something. Because everybody that watches our show is in the production of the episodes.
True. But as we said, the next 2 episodes are definitely the big ones. Yeah. So we're getting to them slowly but surely. Looking forward to those for sure. But
people have asked us about Mystic Force, and I think the plan is to go back to Mystic Force after this, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is I want to check the schedule. We knew last week would be a problem. We're here this week. Next week we should have an episode. The week after we might not.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm going to be going on a trip in the middle of this month that I will definitely be unavailable for a week or so. Whether or not we can get extra episodes queued up or not, I don't know, but we'll keep you updated. Yeah. And until then, I've been Gazbot.
And the big dog to the power. See you guys later.
To the power. I feel like you said that weird. You said I thought you were gonna go end to the power. I'm like, you forgot his name, but then you fixed it, and then I just said, okay, well, I'm looking for end credits and I can't find them, so I just keep talking. Here they are.
There we are. We found them.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. I was not prepared.
So one cool thing about this video is I'm wearing a Day to Remember shirt, and for the holidays last week, I got 2 new Day to Remember shirts last week.
Haha.
What's been one of your favorite things you've been toying around with since Christmas?
That I own or that I've played with?
Played with.
Well, that's a toss-up between Cosmos, who I love for a lot of reasons, but one of which that he was very expensive, and I got him at Ross for $7, and I couldn't believe it happened months after everyone else. But the real one is over here. And this is my werewolf figure. This is Veteran William.
So dope.
Yeah, for those that don't know, this is like an expensive high-end figure that was gifted to me by Tech Advisor Erzuki. You could set him up so he looks like he has a jacket and a shotgun, and he looks like a character like that, or you could do halfway. But I went full werewolf. Werewolf is one of my favorite monsters, and I like them when they're more feral, like monstery like this, there might be a better one out there, but to my knowledge, this is my favorite werewolf figure I've ever seen. And so I'm just psyched it exists and I have it.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's pretty awesome. I've been jealous myself.
It was on sale at some point. I don't know if it's gonna be on sale again, but they also make a tiger and a alligator, and it does make me want the alligator.
As an alligator or as
Leatherhead for the turtles.
Okay. Yeah.
But that would be, but not, I think I said this to you off the air, not the Playmates, early animation where he's got the vest and he's like, hey, me, Leatherhead, I'm a Bayou guy. But there's a comics version where he's a lot more, I think he maybe has pants, but that's it. And he's just this big monster, more like Killer Croc kind of, Yeah. And so that's how I would have him on my turtle shelf.
Yeah, solid.
But he does come with those accessories for those that want the other versions. But what about you? You didn't say what toys you've been thinking.
The 2 I've been mucking around with the most are this Mezco Crow figure.
Nice.
And to keep it in the 90s and angsty, this Mafex
that is
Scarlet Spider.
I'm not sure if I'm jealous of that or not. Because I have the new one on pre-order. If I didn't, I would 100% be jealous. But I'm like, well, let's see how good mine will be, and then
I think yours will be pretty good. Really, like the soft goods is cool. The different heads are cool, and then depending on what pose you're going for, I need to figure out how to get his legs a little more to my liking. But yeah, he's pretty solid. Just trying to do those weird, outlandish, stuff. But great. I don't have huge complaints with him, other than like, I'm bad at posing him.
I realized I also I haven't really played with this that much, but I just got this G.I. Joe Snake Eyes and Timber, which is my second Timber and my 4th Snake Eyes. But it was on sale for $12. So I was like, for $12, I think I might be do some accessory swapping, but this might be my favorite version of Snake Eyes, which is not what I was going to get. This is the Renegades version, and it comes with other pieces. But if I kind of take off the other pieces, the head is definitely my favorite with the visor. Yeah. And so I might do a little swapper. He also has a hand that has a ninja star on it, which is cool, which I think is from the Fortnite version, which is the one I don't have. But anyway, I would never have got it for full price or even half price. But for 25% of what it cost, I'm like, wow, I'm really glad I got this, because this might be my favorite one.
Was that Ross?
No, it was, I want to say Amazon. It was like it wasn't Black Friday, but it was pre-Christmas, and it was just like shockingly. I think I had it on my like watch this in case it ever gets cheap like list, and it was, I think it was 12. If it wasn't 12, it was like $13.50, or it was like sub $15. And I'm like, these figures go for 22 without a wolf. So yeah.
No, good pick for sure. But if you want any more toy content from us and you've made it this far, let us know down below, because we do it seldomly, because this is mostly a Power Ranger show.
There's a lot of toy channels out there. For a little while, I had a solo toy thing I did, and didn't do extremely well. Here's the thing. We like to get together and talk, and we both don't have a lot of time, so it's fun to do it as a show. We talk Power Rangers. Power Rangers content is going to be less soon rather. I mean, we can always do classic stuff. but we're happy to talk comics or toys or whatever else. It seems like none of you care. And I'm not saying that as, oh, woe is us or whatever, or tell us we're great. But if there is a subject we have touched upon or you would like us to touch upon and you'd maybe want to see, we're not saying we wouldn't do Power Rangers, but maybe in addition to or every other week or something like that, let us know because, like whatever. Yeah, we talk about this stuff all the time. It's just a matter of if we roll the cameras or not.
And final thing, and then we're cutting. If you only have watched our episode 8 review of Cosmic Fury and none of this makes sense, welcome. This is our channel.
The Rambling channel. And I'm going to end the recording. There's one, and then I'll press the second one. Here it is.